look at the driver next to me. He's just the same.
Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 609th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. I'd just like to say, on behalf of myself and the Brotherhood, we'd like to wish you all a really happy Christmas, a really Merry Christmas, and we hope you have a great one. And we look forward to seeing you between Christmas and New Year's Day for another battle that we will put on them. But as I say, just hope you have a happy Christmas. And turn into this battle. This is a sad tale of self-isolation. Nothing to do with COVID, but you'll see what I mean as the battle unfolds. Okay, our first teammate is Brotherhood member Crypto, who has unusually bought the Gaul faction. Now, Crypto has got 5 chosen swordsmen, 4 cavalry, 1 druid unit, and 9 forester warbands. Okay, so it's unusual to see Crypto bring the Gaul faction. And there's our chosen swordsman, the elite infantry of Gaul. And they can be quite effective with good upgrades on. But I see he's just got gold shield, gold attack on these Gaul infantry. So I'm thinking he's probably put his money on his other units. You'll also see here that he's got a druid unit. Now we know that barbarian morale is not very good, so to bring a druid unit is a good tactical move there to give your guys an extra morale bonus there, especially on a 31k battlefield. As I say, very rare to see Gaul there. And if you notice there, he's got his barbarian noble cavalry. I'm guessing he's put some good upgrades on there. Yep, you can see he's got 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack on his 4 cavalry units there. Okay, and of course his archers, the Forester Warband archers there, as I say, he's got 9 of them, and of course you can't see them because whenever they stop moving, they just hide. Okay, so no matter where they are on the battlefield, the moment they stop moving, you can't see them anymore because they're hiding. So that'd be interesting to see how well he does with Gaul during the course of the battle. Okay, there, our next teammate is Brotherhood member Aurelius. Now Aurelius has got 12 infantry and 6 cavalry. And a peasant unit. Quick look at the upgrades on his infantry. You'll see he's got 7 upgrades, an experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack on most of his infantry. Okay, as I say, that experience stripe really does help your infantry fight, especially towards the end of the battle. You'll see that a couple of his infantry here have just got 3 upgrades on, which I'm guessing is gold defense there, which he'll probably use as polar shield units. And just to point out here, you'll see that he's got an eagle unit as well as an infantry general within his army. Now with the good upgrades that his infantry got, plus the eagle unit, plus the infantry general, there is a heck of a lot of morale going on with his army there. And I would think he's probably going to do quite well. And there's his peasant unit. Remember, he used this quite good at soaking up enemy missiles. And just to say, if the peasant unit will hold his ground, why use more expensive units to soak up enemy missiles when a peasant unit will just do a great job? As I say, as long as its morale lets it hold its ground there. Okay, so that's Aurelius' army. Quick look at the upgrade on his cavalry. And as I thought, just gold shield, gold attack, as he spent most of his money on his infantry. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see how well he does with that army during the course of the battle. Okay, our next teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, who's got his very, very old-fashioned, old-school Roman army of just 12 infantry and 6 cavalry. Probably the smallest army on the battlefield. So it'll be interesting to see how well that army does during the course of the battle. And our last teammate is Brotherhood member Pompey, who has unusually bought the Seleucid faction. Now Pompey's got 11 pikes, 4 archers and 6 cavalry. Okay, and I always like to say, when they bring these big pike units, I always like to look at the length of those pikes and think of how the enemy troops are going to have to fight down the length of those pikes to kill the man on the other end. Always a formidable task, as I say, especially for Roman troops are having to fight down those pikes to kill the man, as I say, on the other end there. And a quick look at his cataphracts there, and he's just got gold shield, gold attack on his cataphracts. Remember, if we look closely at these guys, they're armoured from head to toe, and that's why we call these guys the tanks of the ancient world. Used properly, these guys can be battle-winning troops, and as I say, quite a formidable force there. So I think that's an interesting Seleucid army there, and I think we've got quite a diverse team here for this battle, and as I say, it's got the potential to be a cracking battle, and I hope you enjoy it. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Man2, who has unusually bought the Scythia faction. Now, isn't it funny, the last battle we looked at, Scythia was bought, and in this battle, Scythia's bought. Very, very unusual. There you can see the chosen archers there. Man2's got 7 axemen, 7 archers, and 6 maidens. I say the archers got long range, can do a lot of damage. really good light infantry too. And then you've got their axemen. Now these are the units that actually let Scythia down. As I said in the last battle, if Rome Total War had another patch, I would suggest that these guys are made into effective against armor axemen and given a bit more morale, and then Scythia could be a really powerful faction, I think. But as it stands at the moment, no matter what upgrades you put on these axemen, they just don't really cut it on a 31k battlefield. And then we have these headhunting maidens. Now, as I said before, make no mistake, these are not gentle young girls. These are the deadly ladies of Rome Total War with their effective against armor axes. And as I said in the last battle video, cavalry versus cavalry, I would say these are the best cavalry in the game. Okay, they're not so good at fighting infantry, but cavalry versus cavalry, yeah, I think these girls have actually got it in this game to be the best. Okay, so that's a Scythian army there. Unusual to see Man 2 bring that army. Okay, their next teammate is Brotherhood member Barclayman, who's bought the Pontus faction. Now, Barclayman's got 14 pikes, 1 archer, a cavalry general, and 4 heavy chariots. Okay, there's his Cappadocian cavalry unit there with 8 upgrades on. There's his general unit there amongst his Cappadocian cavalry. As I say, he's got 8 upgrades on that unit, so the general should be quite safe, I would have thought. And then, of course, he's got his 4 chariots there. As we said before, these are a double-edged sword. They got big attacking specifications. They bring a big fear factor, taking morale away from enemy troops, making them more susceptible to routing. But if they run amok, they become a menace to both friend and foe alike, killing both friend and foe alike. And for some reason, they seem to be stronger in amok mode and do more damage than they do in normal mode, which kind of seems a bit strange. So that's Barclayman's Pontus army there. It should be interesting to see how well he uses that. Now, here's an interesting army build for Brotherhood member Lando. Now, Lando has got 19 infantry and 1 cavalry general. Okay, so 19 infantry, 1 cavalry general. So imagine the firepower that 19 urban cohort units can bring down on an enemy team there. I mean, that is, you can just imagine the firepower that they can bring down, all those effective against armor pilots, but with only just a cavalry general. Okay, there's his armoured cavalry general, very old school, as we talked about before. 11, 12 years ago, we all used to bring this as our Roman general, before most of us switched to infantry. So this is genuinely old school and old-fashioned here, but he uses that general usually very well. But will 19 infantry units make up for no Praetorian cavalry? I guess we'll just have to see as the battle unfolds, but that is a powerful army there. Okay, and their last teammate is Brotherhood member Demon. Now, Demon's got 12 infantry, 2 archers, and 6 cavalry. Just like to show you that pilot shield formation at the front of his battle formation there. See that 1 unit sticking? This is very old-fashioned pilot shield unit here, but it can be very effective because you'll find that that unit sticking out there attracts most of the enemy pilots, and of course then the other 2 pilot shield units don't suffer as much damage. So you might want to give that a try. It is quite effective. It's old-fashioned, it's old school, but you know, it still looks effective to me on the battlefield, and if Demon's using it, it must still be pretty good. And if you notice here, it's 2 archer units there. You'll notice if you count the upgrades, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, fully upgraded archers, 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. So make no mistake, he's got some serious archers there. So that's quite unusual there. And then his 6 cavalry, I'm guessing he's probably usually got 7 upgrades on his cavalry there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's got an experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack on his cavalry. So that's Demon's Roman army there. So there's the other team. Quite a diverse team there. As I say, I think the whole battle is quite diverse if you look at the factions involved, and this should be a cracking battle for you to watch, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, at this stage of the battle, I thought we'd have a look at Crypto's Forester Warband Archers. You remember what we were talking about earlier when we were looking at the army builds? Of course, we couldn't see these guys because they stopped, and when they stop, they just hide anywhere. These guys have got a unique ability. They have got anti-cavalry spears as their alt-attack weapon. And a lot of Roman generals have tried attacking these guys with their cavalry like they would hit any other archer unit. And then all of a sudden these guys pull out their anti-cavalry spears, and we've seen whole cavalry, units get routed by these guys. So it'll be interesting to see how Crypto uses them during the course of the battle. It should be interesting to see. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle here, you can see in Lando using his fast-moving armoured cavalry general there. Get ready for this. And bang! As he smashes into that peasant unit of Aurelius there. That was a nice lightning hit there by Lando. As we know, he's very, very good at using this old school armoured cavalry general. As I say, 11, 12 years ago, you would have seen this done quite a lot there, as I say, because most of us bought an armoured cavalry general as our general all those years ago before we most of us switched to an infantry general. So this is genuinely old school. Here you can see he's attracting archer fire. Because of the great upgrades on this unit and the speed that it moves at, you will suffer absolute minimum casualties from archer fire, and he would try to encourage Crypto's archers to shoot their expensive arrows at him, knowing that he will, as I say, suffer minimum casualties there. Look at how he's riding around there, trying to attract the archer fire there. As I say, very old school tactics, very old school unit. And as I say, 11, 12 years ago, this was like a common tactic that you would have seen. There, like, standing still there, trying to attract the archer fire again, look, trying to get Crypto to use his expensive archers, firing their expensive arrows at him. Over here on our left flank, you'll see Aurelius has got his cavalry there, possibly waiting to smash into the flank of any attacking troops. Okay, you can see Lando's got his army out in front of his team there, laying his credentials on the line, always very aggressive, always a very attacking player there. Okay, as we know, we've seen Lando in a lot of our battles in the past. He always leads the charge for his team, but sometimes he can be kind of, I don't know if hot-headed is the right thing to say there, but he can sometimes be a bit isolated. Right, here you can see his armoured cavalry general going for that Seleucid archer unit. We're just going to smash into it, and then saw Pompey's cataphract unit moving towards him there. Decided to back off, which is probably quite a good move there for Lando to do that. He doesn't want to clash with that unit, I wouldn't have thought, and bang! As that cataphract unit smashes into him there. Make no mistake, that cataphract unit would probably have taken out that armoured cavalry general unit there if he'd have stayed fighting there. So that's a good move there, Lando moving back. But don't forget, Lando uses that unit to harass and harangue and to annoy enemy troops, you know, making the generals there, the enemy generals, do rash acts. You know, that's why he uses that armoured unit so well there. Okay, at this stage of the battle, you can see Lando moving his entire army over to the left flank here. Okay, now as I say, Lando's very aggressive, very attacking player, as we've seen in lots of other battle videos, but unfortunately sometimes he can be a little bit maybe over aggressive, and you'll see what I mean during the course of this this battle. Here you can see Pompey there moving his Seleucid troops back, as he's seeing Lando moving his 19 infantry units towards him. He doesn't want 19 units of pilers being thrown in on his Seleucid troops there. So you can see once again he's going to charge that armoured cavalry unit into that archer unit there. Get ready for this, and bang! As he smashes in there. Wouldn't surprise me if Crypto turned that unit to face him there and drew those anti-cavalry spears. Okay, let's just pause the game for a second. As I say, this is a unique ability to this archer unit here. Okay, can you see the anti-cavalry spears? And I've seen a lot of Roman generals charge cavalry units into these guys and get a nasty surprise when their cavalry are routed by these guys using these anti-cavalry spears. So as I say, it's a unique ability to these Forester Warband archers that they can draw those anti-cavalry spears. And it wouldn't surprise me if Lando backed his general unit off. There you go. See, he's backed that general unit off there. Didn't want to fight those anti-cavalry spears anymore. Okay, so just want to draw your attention here. Can you see how far Lando has moved over to this left flank? And can any of you notice, newer players for Rome Total War, can you see something that maybe not quite good idea here? He's moved so far over to the left. Can you see that he's starting to get a little bit isolated? Okay, he's like kind of self-isolating here. And nothing to do with COVID, but you can see he's self-isolating almost from his allies. Look how far away he is from his allies here. Now, if you do that, if you let yourself get isolated in front of a good team, the chances are that that good team's going to take full advantage of that and smash you with everything they've got to try and take your army out. So, as I say here, it's like he's kind of, I don't like using this terminology, but self-isolating here on this left flank. And that's what he seems to be doing, self-imposed isolation here. Look how far away he is from his allies. Now you can see, looking from our team's point of view, how easy he's going to be hit. Okay, he's got 19 infantry units with all the firepower that can bring, but he is isolated, and if we hit him with cavalry and infantry, do you think there's a chance we might be able to take him out? And there you can see one of Pompey's pike units there, It's just been routed, but here you can see, look, can you see how Pompey's getting his cavalry around the flanks there? So there you are, there's all of Lando's 19 infantry there, and you can see that Pompey's probably going to come in with his pikes. He's got his cataphracts at the flank, ready to smash into his flank there. Okay, and so if you look at the general situation, I'm going to move my cavalry over here as well, because I'm going to try and smash him as well. You can see Aurelius's cavalry there. And poor old Lando here, because he's kind of, as I say, he's self-isolated there. Look how far away he is from his allies there. You see? A long, long way away. As I say, he's self-isolated there, and he is now going to possibly get smashed. And if you notice at the back here, you'll see that Barclayman's got his chariots, his heavy chariots. He's moving slowly round that particular flank. Now, he'll probably throw them in to try and help Lando, but as I say, Lando is so far away from his allies here. He would be a prime target for any good team that was facing him there. As I say, he's got 19 infantry. Maybe because he's got 19 infantry, that gives him that confidence. Now, he should be moving his army, I think, now, seeing the danger, over towards his allies. But, there, can you see, he's actually moving away from his allies there. Even more isolation here. And bang! As that cataphract unit smashes in there. Now, I know a lot of people are self-isolating at the moment, but you don't need to do that on Rome Total War, do you? I mean, oh my gosh. But that's what he seems to be doing there. As you can see there, look at that. Bang! As that cataphract cavalry smashes into another one of his units there. All the time weakening his units. And you can see us move through. There's Aurelius's cavalry there smashing into one of his units there. You can see the writings on the wall here. You can see us moving towards him. Surely he can see that... he's going to get hit. Even Crypto's bought his chosen swordsman from the other flank over here to hit him. Okay, you can see the cataphract smashing into him. I'm moving my infantry and cavalry over as well because... And you got Aurelius's cavalry there. We're going to really smash him. You can see Mantu trying to bring those axemen, those Scythian axemen over to help him. But if those axemen are intercepted by cavalry or anything like that, they'll probably get taken out. Over here, though, can you see Aurelius here is showing his flank, okay, to Demon. Can you see there? Now, if Demon comes round a little bit further, he's going to smash into Aurelius's flank here. So I'm not sure if Aurelius is concentrating on his cavalry, maybe, and not watching for his infantry there. You've got those headhunting maidens out on the left flank as well that could smash into his flank. So Aurelius there, I hope is aware of what's going on there, because otherwise he could get smashed on that left flank of his. But as I say, over here on our right flank, facing Lando here, you can see we're kind of locked and loaded, ready to charge in. You can see Aurelius's cavalry there. Wouldn't surprise me if that charged in. You can see Pompey charging his cataphracts in. I noticed he smashed in and then pulled back, does the damage that he wants to, pulls his cataphracts back. There you can see his cataphracts closing in there. You can see those Gaul chosen swordsmen of Cryptos there as well. There comes those axemen. There comes those Scythian axemen there, and you can see Aurelius is charging into them with some of his cavalry units. Look at him, bang, as he charges in there. As I say, these Scythian axemen are so poor, no matter what upgrades you put on them. It wouldn't surprise me if all those axemen were taken out just by Aurelius's cavalry here. That's how poor those Scythian axemen are. So as I say here, you can see Lando there, and I say if Aurelius takes out Mantu's axemen there, okay, then all of Aurelius's cavalry is then available to smash into Lando's infantry there. You can see I'm moving my infantry over here as well, because I can see here that if we can all strike at the same time, we will take Lando's army out. I've got my cavalry on the flank ready to charge in as well. Okay, but at the moment here, you can see that Aurelius here is holding up Demon here, stopping Demon from getting reinforcements over to that other flank there. So he's doing a good job. As I say, it looks like he's being hit in the flank. And over here, you can see those headhunting maidens have attacked one of Crypto's well upgraded Gaul cavalry there. Okay, as I say, cavalry versus cavalry. I think you'll find these headhunting maidens are the best in the game, so it's a good idea here for Crypto to take the rest of his cavalry away from those deadly ladies of Rome Total War, because they will take his cavalry out. So as I say, Aurelius here is in danger, I think, there, although he's trying to hold up Demon, stopping him getting reinforcements over to the other flank. But as I say, Lando here looks to me like, as I say, he's self-isolating here on this flank, and he is likely to get pretty hit, I think. They're smashed there. Right, you can see most of the Scythian axemen here are being attacked by Aurelius's cavalry. And as I say, these axemen are so poor that, as I say, I think Aurelius's cavalry's got a really good chance at taking all those infantry of Scythia out. There you go. Okay, so you can see there the vast majority of those Scythian axemen have been taken out by Aurelius's cavalry. It just goes to show how bad that infantry is, no matter what upgrades. And now Aurelius's cavalry can go and charge into the flank of Lando. You can see Barclayman bringing his pikemen over here to try and get to Lando, but you can see my infantry charging in here to the forward elements. You can see, as I say, Crypto's chosen swordsman. I got my cavalry locked and loaded, ready to charge in to those Scipii infantry there. Okay, so you can see charging in there. Now, as I say, don't forget Lando had 19 urban cohort units here, and look how many we've managed to rout already. As I say, I'm charging my infantry in there. They're throwing pilers in. You can see my cavalry moving forward here. I can see those Pontus chariots closing in on my cavalry, but if I can just smash into those Scipii units there, and bang, as they smash in there, you can see those chariots smashing into my cavalry as well, but they've almost routed on impact. That one unit did there. Okay, so you can see that other chariot unit coming in behind me as well, but I'm going to turn to face that chariot unit. I can see that Pompey's charging in his cataphracts in there to help as well. We've routed that chariot unit as well. So we've taken out 2 of Barclayman's chariot units there. And as you can see now, the whole of Lando's infantry, 19 units, have now been routed here. Okay, so all of Lando's units have been routed. He's still got his general cavalry, armoured cavalry general left, but all of his 19 infantry units have now been routed there. And that's what you get if you self-isolate. If you self-isolate and get a little bit too far away from your allies that they can't help you, then you are going to get smashed and taken out. And that's what's happened to Lando there. All 19 of his infantry units have now been taken out. Over here, you can see on our left flank here, Aurelius is now doing a good job of holding Demon up here, but I think Aurelius was smashed in the flank there by a lot of Demon's units there. But you can see Aurelius now is turning his units to face the threat. And at this part of the battlefield here, you can see the headhunting maidens attacking those Forester warbands of Crypto there. Now, as I say, these maidens, with their effective against armour axes there, and the charge bonus that they got a big charge bonus as well. And as I say, these are very underestimated cavalry. If any of you haven't tried Scythia, give Scythia a try and bring these headhunting maidens and see what you think of them. Right, so there you are. They've routed all those Forester warband archers there. Okay, so that's what headhunting maidens can do. As I say, cavalry versus cavalry. Best cavalry in the game. Not so good against infantry, but they did well against those archers there. So I think Man 2 is going to get some good kills with Scythia, the way that he's using those headhunting maidens. Okay, you can see Barclayman here has now brought his Pontus pikeman over, and he's facing my Roman army. It wouldn't surprise me if he ran forward. There they are. He's going to engage my forward units there. I'm trying to throw in as many pilers as I can to weaken his units before we actually get into hand-to-hand fighting. But as I say there, he ran forward there to engage my forward units. You can see me throwing my units throwing pilers into those Pontus pikemen there. Okay, so as I say, but remember, I don't like fighting those big pike units head on or spear units. I like to get round the flank here. Right, let's pause the game for a second. So, as I say, I'm not going to play his game. I'm not going to attack his pikemen head on, which is what he'd like there. As I say, he's attacked my forward units there, but just look at the length of those pikes my guys have got to fight down, as we looked at before. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a couple of units out round the flank here. Okay, I'm going to take a couple of units round the other flank as well. And I may well attack the centre of Pontus there just to pin and hold them while I get units round the flank. We just have to see as the battle unfolds there. Okay, but I'm certainly not going to attack him head on, which is what he wants me to do. Okay, as I say, going to take units round his flank here, attacking the flank of those pike units there. You can see on the other flank there, I'm taking a couple of my urban cohorts round the flank there of those Pontus pikemen. Okay, you can see also that our Seleucid ally is bringing his pikes over. Pompey there, he's bringing his pikes into the fray as well. As I say, I think the pike units of Seleucid and Pontus are pretty well matched. But bad news for us on our left flank. Remember, we were looking at Aurelius's army. There's his general. all of Aurelius's infantry have now been taken out, and that was because those headhunting maidens smashed into the rear of his engaged infantry. Okay, so his engaged infantry were fighting demons infantry, and then those headhunting maidens with their big charge bonus smashed into the rear of Aurelius's infantry, and that is why all of Aurelius's infantry has now been taken out. Okay, so now all demons troops and those headhunting maidens will be moving over here, maybe to attack the rear or flank of our attacking units here. Okay, so all those troops now are freed up to come over to attack us. Okay, so as I say here, this is a good attack by Pompey with his pikes there on the Pontus pikes. As I say, you can see me taking a couple of my Julii infantry units around the flank. You've got Pompey's cavalry, his cataphracts out there as well. And we're now pushing in on Pontus there. You can see, you notice that I'm throwing a few of my units into the forward part of those Pontus infantry units there to pin and hold them. Well, as I say, I get my units around the flank, and also Pompey pushing in from the flank as well. Okay, but I say, you can see Crypto's got his chosen swordsman involved in there as well, charging into the flank of Barclayman's Pontus pikemen there. So you can see a lot of pressure on those pikemen there from both our Seleucid ally, Pompey, there with his own pikes, and my Julii infantry pushing in as well. So poor old Barclayman here is getting hit by three sides here, and I'm not sure if he'll be able to hold before his ally gets over to him there, but as I say, we are putting a lot of pressure on. Okay, so as I say, you can see Demon here moving over there from the victorious left flank there, where he took out Aurelius's army there, and he got all the infantry now to throw into the fray to attack us in the flank there. So as I say, and you can see Barclayman here holding the best he can with his pikes against our Seleucid ally, plus my Julii cavalry as well. Now I'm going to show you a mistake here by myself in a minute, a very costly mistake. And I'm showing you this mistake, so I'm hoping that newer players seeing this will see the mistake that I've made and won't do it themselves during the course of the battle. Okay, so as I say here, you can see I'm going to charge my Julii cavalry through my ally and smash into Pontus. Okay, just want to show you something first. Can you see this amok chariot just touched one of my cavalry units? Just touched that one of that cavalry, and look how many of my cavalry it took out just in a glancing blow there from that amok chariot. Took those cavalry out. But the mistake I want to show you here is I'm going to charge my cavalry here. I think a smash into that Pontus pikeman with my cavalry could rout them all. But I'm going to run through my Seleucid allies' pikes. So I had a check here, and if you notice, can you see that unit there? It's got his pikes up. So he's walking forward with his pikes up, and I thought all of Pompey's pikemen now had their pikes up, and so I could safely charge through them without losing any of my cavalry. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to charge my cavalry through my allies' pikes there. Okay, notice there's no Julii cavalry casualties there at all. Okay, notice that, no Julii cavalry casualties at all. I'm going to smash through my allies' pikes and charge into Pontus. They're hopefully going to shock them so much with the cavalry attack, we're going to rout all of Pontus. Right, here comes my cavalry. Okay, now I think that my Seleucid allies' pikes are all up, so I can charge through them safely without any friendly kills from his pikes. Pause the game for a second, but I was wrong. These pikemen here have got the pikes down. Okay, now if I charge my cavalry through my ally with his pikes down, this is going to cause a lot of friendly kills, and I am going to lose a lot of my cavalry here. As I say, I thought his pikes were up. I didn't shout out to him, pikes up. It's my fault. I should have shouted out to Pompey, pikes up. I'm coming through with my cavalry. I didn't shout out that because I thought he did have his pikes up, because I checked that one unit. And I've charged through there, and the tactic did well, look, because as I smashed into those Pontus pikemen there, I routed them on impact. So the tactic worked well with what cavalry that I managed to get through there. But now, I just want to show you something here. Through my own mistake, look at the cavalry that I've lost. Okay, remember we looked before there, can you see there, he's moving his cataphracts over there. Remember we looked in that area, and there wasn't a single Julii casualty. Now look, all those red Julii cavalry dead are my cavalry that were killed on friendly pikes. Okay, so the friendly pike, can you see the pikes are down? So I thought that the pikes were up. That's why I didn't shout to Pompey, I'm coming through with my cavalry, pikes up, because I thought they were up. I looked at that one unit, charged my cavalry through, and all those Julii cavalry that I've lost there, look, were all done by friendly fire. Friendly pikes being down, let's say. So I just wanted to show you that. Newer players to Rome Total War, never charge your cavalry through friendly pikes or spears when they're down. And that's all the cavalry I got left, look. 8 men in that, 25 men in that. What's that? 6 men and 5 men in that. So that's all the cavalry I got left now, because most of my cavalry were killed through my own mistake in charging my cavalry through my allies' pikes when his pikes were down. So, as I say, I wanted to show this as an example to you, especially newer players from Rome Total War. Don't do that. See, that's the unit I looked at with his pikes up. You could run through that unit with your cavalry, no problems. Okay, if the pikes or spears are up, you can run through and attack the enemy troops, no problems. But if the pikes are down, like these guys were here, then that's what's caused all these casualties to my cavalry. So you can see now, there, I just thought I'd show you that mistake. I should have shouted to Pompey, pikes up, I'm coming through, but because I saw that unit was had its pikes up, I didn't think I had to, so that's costed me a lot of cavalry there. Okay, so now you can see us moving towards Demon's Scipii infantry there. He's going to be throwing a lot of pilers into us there as we're moving forward. You can see Pompey's got his cavalry out to the flank, and what's left of my cavalry are out on the flank as well, ready to smash in. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to pin and hold the forward units of Demon's Scipii infantry there with my Julii infantry. Okay, that's what I'm going to do, and then hopefully pinning and holding them, both Pompey and myself can charge our cavalry into the flank of those Scipii infantry there and cause a lot of those units to rout, hopefully. As you can see there, you can see Pompey moving his pike units forward. You can see my Julii units moving forward there to pin and hold at the forward units of Demon's Scipii infantry there. There, you can see, bang, as Pompey's cataphracts are going in. See, he's going to charge all of them in there. Get ready for this. Going to be some kind of intent. Notice they're not in wedge formation there. Bang and bang as they charge in there. Okay, so you can see here, I just want to show you something here. This is a surgical hit from Barclayman. There's Pompey's general. His general was on that side of that unit. Barclayman spotted it and then smashed in with his general armoured cavalry unit there and took out Pompey's general there, which is on the side, as I say, of that general unit there. So of course we know Seleucid morale is not very good, so to lose its general is not very good there. Make no mistake, that was a surgical hit there by Barclayman. As I say, you can see me pushing my infantry in there. We've got the cataphracts coming in from the flank. Okay, as I say, maybe if those cataphracts were in wedge formation, they might have had more penetration. Can you see my battle damaged cavalry are in wedge formation? They are battle damaged, but they are in wedge formation for more impact, more penetration. Get ready for this, and bang as they smash in there. Now can you see the impact and penetration of those units, okay, in wedge formation? Did you see them smash in through my allies' cavalry there and manage to help to mass rout Demon's Scipii troops there? And I think there's just a few headhunting maidens left, very battle depleted, very battle damaged, exhausted headhunting maidens left there of Man 2. He's been using this cavalry around the battlefield really well. It wouldn't surprise me if Scythia got some really good kills here, the way that he's been using those headhunting maidens around the battlefield, hitting soft targets with them in a lot of places there. Okay, so it looks like our team has has managed to go on to win the battle there. I say it's a reasonably spread out battle here. You can see as you look over the battlefield here, little skirmishes went on here and there. As you can see some cataphract dead there. And as we move over to this part of the battlefield, you can see, I think, some Julii cavalry. I think that's Aurelius maybe, and some Pontus chariots there. You can see that there, and over here as you get closer into the middle of the battle there, you can start to see lots and lots of dead there. As I say, look at all my Julii cavalry that got killed on those friendly pikes. As I say, please remember that when you play Rome Total War. My mistake there. Cost me a lot of cavalry. Luckily it didn't cost us a game, but it could have done. But there you can see big piles of dead as we move across the battlefield there. As I say, a lot of dead there. As I say, I thought this was also a good battle to show you on self-isolation. If you self-isolate like poor old Lando did there in front of a good team, you're going to get smashed. And you can see he was getting smashed from all directions there. So even though he had 19 infantry, I'm going to think he's not going to get great kills, but we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, the first thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game. It was a great game. They're really well played, and you can see it was an average victory. Okay, now the highest kills in the game, okay, goes to a very, very old Roman army of mine, surprisingly there. And if you notice, the smallest army on the battlefield by a long way. Okay, if you look at all the other army numbers, but I managed to get the highest kills. So let's say maybe it's not the quantity of troops you bring, but it's the quality and the way you use them that you can get the good kills. So well done to brother member man 2, bringing Scythia there. Look at the kills there, 1,548. Third highest kills in the game with Scythia. Really well done to man 2 there. Third highest kills in the game with all these elite factions. Well done. Well done to Barclay man there. Did well with his Pontus faction there. I thought he held really well with his pikes. Unfortunately, as I say, Lando had 19 infantry units and his armoured cavalry general and only 419 kills. As I say, he got self-isolated there, and he paid the price for that on that right flank of ours. Well done to Demon. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to either, but he played well over on that left flank. So really well played, guys. Well done to Aurelius, second highest kills in the game with that army of his, 1,591. Good kills there for Aurelius. Well done to him. As I say, that very old Roman army of mine, smallest one on the battlefield, managed to get the highest kills, so I'm really pleased with that. Well done to Crypto with his Gaul faction. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but still quite good. And well done to Pompey. He got some good kills there with Seleucid. So really well played, guys. Just have a look at the statistics there. You can see that top army is Aurelius because he's got a peasant unit in his army. I haven't got a peasant unit in mine. And if we look at the statistics, you'll see my urban cohorts did well. One unit that killed 184, another unit killed 192. So my urban cohorts did really well there. I thought kill-wise, if you look at the kills, the casualties that they suffered and the kills they inflicted, I think they did well. And my Praetorian cavalry did quite well as well there as well. So I'm quite pleased with the way that old army, bearing in mind this army may be 14, 15 years old, I don't think it's too bad on the modern day battlefield. So I'd just like to say once again, I'm wishing you all a happy Christmas from myself and the Brotherhood. We hope you have a really nice Christmas day. And make no mistake, we will be back with a battle between Christmas Day and New Year's Day for you to watch, which we hope you will enjoy. So this is Spartan Commander saying happy Christmas and see you soon.